Hi everyone, in this video today I'll show you 25 most efficient Trx exercises, from the easiest one to more difficult ones. Let's get started. To start with our exercises, we need to attach Trx to something tall and reliable. Make a noose, attach to the highest point possible that you can reach, and test the strength of your equipment. Now we can crack on. Our first exercise today is a side lunge. Side lunges work your glutes, quads, hamstrings and calves. While traditional lunges also doing these muscles, a side lunge gives you a bonus of tackling both your inner and outer thighs, also known as abductors and adductors. So if you're looking to tone your legs, this is a great move for you. Our next up is row with a hip drop. This squat option would be a great alternative to someone with a knee pain, as it removes lots of pressure from your quads to your arms. But at the same time, you are not losing any intensity. That is very important when you're trying to burn calories. Next exercise is Gator mouth or reverse flies. The most important bit here is to keep tension in your shoulders at all times, especially when going down, as it's very tempting to just plunge down. You can regulate difficulty by moving closer or further from the anchor point. Our next up is Trx pistol squat. It's a great alternative way to challenge your lower body, especially your quads, your hip flexors, glutes and hamstrings. It also forces you to keep your core engaged throughout the movement for improved balance and overall strength. For me, as a football player, I'm using this a lot in my training and helps me a lot with the balance. Using suspension shaft for pistol squats offers a full body challenge because it works multiple muscle groups during the exercise. Your center of gravity is always out of the balance, forcing you to use your core, your back, your hips, your shoulders to stabilize the movement. This creates more dynamic squat as other muscle groups working to support the move. Our next exercise, face pulls, are a great exercise for red deltoids, trapezius and upper back muscles. The red delts by comparison are often neglected. This type of muscular imbalance can contribute to shoulder pain and injuries, not to mention a hunched back forward appearance and poor posture. As a result, it's important to incorporate exercise into your routine that target the red delt, and face pulls happen to be the excellent option. Trx chest flies is quite technical exercise, so once again it's very important to keep the tension in your muscle at all times. When you're bringing your arms together, don't focus on just extending your arms in front of you. Try to bring your elbows in. Imagine there is a pencil sliding down to your chest and you actually need to catch it with your chest. This way you're going to engage your pectoral muscles so much more. Our next exercise is fantastic for getting your heart rate up. Imagine you're sitting alone on the seesaw and just trying to jump up as high as you can as a kid. And then try to land nice and soft on your toes so you don't have any damage to your knees. Try to get your hip at least on the level with your knee and then make explosive jump as high as you can while maintaining the balance with your Trx. Our next exercise is one of my favorite. You need to grab the handle with one hand, reach Trx with the opposite, let's say it's going to be your right one, then rotate down to the ground, touch the ground right behind you, knees can be slightly bent, then with your left one pull strongly up and reach the Trx again, and do that like 12 maybe 15 times. See how it goes for you. If they are a bit too hard, go a few steps back. A bit too easy, go deeper towards the anchor point. This one is one of the hardest ones in my opinion. Slowly pull your knees towards the chest, bending your knees as they tuck under your hips, keeping your feet together, then go back down again, but do not drop your hip drastically. If that exercise is easy enough itself, I would suggest you to do a press up like that I'm doing on this video. It's really one of the hardest ones and one of the most efficient exercises there is to do with Trx. Our next exercise again is a fantastic option for people who are experiencing problems with the traditional squat, because part of the pressure in this exercise goes into your shoulders and remove partially pressure from your knee, and sometimes that's enough. You just need to change a little bit your angle and your knees are not hurting anymore even though you're still doing squat. Our next exercise is pretty much straightforward. It's the bicep curls. One thing we need to remember when working with TRX, bring your elbows high. On this exercise, we want to isolate your biceps and bring your elbows up for it. And you're gonna see the burn in your biceps in no time. Again, if it's a bit too hard for you, go a bit more back, but keep your elbows up. If it's too easy, go way forwards. Our next exercise is jumping lunges. Not only this exercise is excellent cardiovascular wise, but it's also helped to develop your lower body strength and power, as well as challenge your dynamic stability and coordination. When it's done correctly, you will target glutes, quads, hamstrings, hip flexors and calves. But remember the impact. So remember soft landing and then explosive jump. Swap your legs up in the air and again soft landing. Our next exercise is the archer pull-ups. So with one hand I'm gonna ask you to row, so TRX, and bring it in to you. With another hand you're going to try to abduct it. So with one hand you're working your biceps and your red delts, same as lats. With another one you're working your middle deltoid, your front delt, your red delts, and even your triceps. I would suggest you not to alternate from repetition to repetition. Try to make 10-15 on one side first, then switch to another one. Next up is mountain climbers. So we did similar exercise before with the knees tucked in, and this particular one we're gonna move your knees alternating in. So get into press up position, get your feet into TRX onto your knees, then lift your bum up, hunch over and bring your knee towards the chest, but don't go too quick. Imagine every single time you need to bring your knee in, you're about to kick something in front of you. So powerfully go in, exhale, release, and then another knee goes in. Again, same thing, powerful kick, then slow release. For hamstring curls, we need to flip and then put your heels into the loops, then lay down on your shoulder blades. We want your shoulders, your hips, your knees all in one line. Then bring your hips up and bring your heels in at the same time. Remember, your shoulders, your hips, your knees need to be in one line at all times. You can bring your arms by your sides and dig in with your elbows in for your help and a bit more balance. So bring your heels in and slowly release. Then again, same thing, bring it in and slow release. With hip abduction exercise, everything is pretty much straightforward. As you see on the video, get your legs in and then try to swing your legs apart as fast and as far as you can, and then as slow as you can bring them back down again. Your hips need to be up at all times. Great exercise for your outer thighs. Another one difficult on our list. Sit on your mat with the arms extended, legs straight. Your body needs to be bent in roughly 90 degrees. Then bring your head forwards and pull yourself up whilst your elbows going down by your rib cage, but not going behind your back at all. And then slowly release and slowly go down. If you want to challenge yourself a bit more, do not use your handles, use your straps. This way you're going to engage even more of your forearms. Our next stop, TRX back extensions. Main targets are shoulder muscles, lower trapezius, rhomboids, lower back and glutes, especially your shoulders. Try to distribute the exercise pressure between your glutes, your lower back and shoulders. Do not leave your shoulders on their own. Again, if it's a bit too difficult, step back, don't hesitate. Explosive movement on the way up and slowly go down. Again, explosive movement on the way up and go down as slow as you possibly can. One of the most difficult ones on this list is the side bend. Works insanely your shoulders, core and back muscles all at the same time. So you're standing tall with the TRX in your hands, fully extended, and you already need to have a little tension, so you're not just standing freely, you're already relying on your shoulder strength. Then what you need to do, you need to stick your rib cage out as much as you can, bend as much as you can with it. Be careful, do not overstretch, do not pull anything, and then try to come back to initial position. Ice skaters is explosive version of lateral lunge that involve jumping side to side and landing on single leg, which builds strength and power in glutes, hamstrings and quads, also calves, improving stability in ankles, knees and hips, works core strength to maintain balance in upright position. It's great cardiovascular challenge that also builds endurance, balance and coordination. Our tricep extension is pretty straightforward. I want you to stand tall, then bend your elbows in half, but do not create a too sharp angle. So 90 degrees is pretty enough. Then from that position, try to extend your arms forward so you're in fully upright position again. And then once again go slowly down, controlled movement, and again back to extension. For TRX leg raise, you need to get into sit-up deep position, lock your arms behind you, relying just on TRX and the shoulder girdle muscle strength and your triceps. Bring your legs as far out as possible and place your feet on your heels. That's quite important. Then raise one of your legs up, so at the same time you have 3-point contact, or to be fair, just 1-point contact with the ground and 2 more points contact with TRX. You're gonna be incredibly swinging side to side, and your task over here is to stabilize yourself while maintaining the movement with your legs going up and down. Our next exercise is a side knee tag. So we already did mountain climbers and be in similar position. I want you to place your palms in front of you in press-up position. Then bring your knees, this time not inside, but this time I want to go on the side and try to move from side to side as controlled as you can while maintaining hunched over position, because hunched over position allows you to maintain your core muscles tensed and not loose. Remember, if your core muscles are loose, then your back is getting all the pressure, and that's not something we want. And final exercise, why actually TRX was invented. It's a TRX row. What you need to do over here is bring your shoulders, your hips, your ankles in one line, hang on TRX while your legs being as close to the anchor point as possible, and bring your elbows behind your back and chest up. And that was my top 25 best and most efficient TRX exercises. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you would like to see more educational content, please like and subscribe. Bye bye.